welcome. I'm Michelle, holistic self-love coach for mums, and this is
Anne, motherhood coach and NLP practitioner.
and welcome to day one of our Mindful Mums Make Christmas Magic video series. Really excited to have you here. And today, day one, we're going to be talking about planning at a steady pace. So I haven't done any Christmas preparation yet.
Me
Christmas,
neither.
pardon? You neither?
Me neither.
Me neither. It's not Christmas to me until the 1st of December. I've got birthdays to sort out in November, a couple of big family birthdays, my husband and my mum. So I try to leave it all until after my mum's birthday at the end of November. So anyway, what I'm going to be doing is writing a list of gifts now, getting all of the lists for things that need to be done now, and that just gets it on paper and out of my head, so it's, I know that it will be covered. So there are some list ideas in our Christmas planner, so if you haven't already got your copy, then grab your copy. There's it's pinned to the top of our Facebook group, and it will be in the email that you received when you signed up for this series. So yeah, and the other thing to think about is, do you know where you're spending Christmas Day this year? That's something I do know already. What about you, Anne? Do you know what you're doing at Christmas?
Well, because we live far away from at least my family, we usually spend Christmas by ourselves. That's we don't do the big family gathering Christmas. In Mauritius, it's more for New Year. That's the big one when we're going to travel to see some family. But Christmas in our house just with us.
That to me sounds absolute bliss. That's how we would like to have it. And that's what we've been working on. We are going to go to my parents this Christmas, which is a bit different from the last few Christmases, but you will hear more about how Anne and I how we organize our Christmases and how we plan and how Christmas has evolved for us over the years,
Oh, yes.
as we've been sort of introducing our own family traditions based on what we really want, what we feel is important, and also what our children have come up with as well. Because for me, it's all about the children. I'm pretty sure that's the same for you, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, that's Christmas and children just bring that it goes so well together.
Yeah.
I think, I have a 3-year-old, he still believes in Santa. It's just beautiful. The 7-year-old not. I'm trying to keep him quiet, at least for this year. I think it's probably the last year where we can sell the Santa Claus story, but it's just beautiful, isn't it?
Magic, isn't it? Yeah. Santa is very much alive in our house. Very much. And the elf on the shelf as well. So
Oh yeah, I love that. We don't have it, but it's just the cutest thing.
it brings me so much joy. So that I put a lot of my attention into that in the early into the early
Yeah.
December. I love it. I love it. So it's all about thinking about what's important to you when you're planning Christmas. The goal of these videos and this whole series is to try and help you establish new traditions, help you realize what's really important. Are you saying yes to things that don't really feel good to you? Are you simplifying things to help with finances? Because obviously this Christmas, the state of the world and everything, finances are an issue. They've always been an issue, but this Christmas, I think in particular, um, it's about realizing what's really important. Is it the presents that's important? Is it the how much money you spend on the presents? I mean, that's not important to me, but you're all, everyone's different. Is it the details that's important to you, who you're with, where you are? And yeah, just really getting into what you really want to happen at Christmas, in your planning. Personally, I love doing Christmas shopping online these days, and it's something that my husband and I have done for the last few years. And we make it a really lovely thing. We get some mulled wine going, we have the log burner roaring, And it's just fun. It's just really nice. And to me, that takes the pressure off having to go around the shops, trudging around the shops and buying gifts for people. Um, so
Yeah, I
yeah.
love that because I think the important part there for me, I love the story with the log burner and that, because sometimes we've got to do things that are just not really fun. I mean, I don't enjoy Christmas shopping. I have to do it because here in Mauritius we don't have so much online shopping opportunities, so I will have to go to the shops. But it's making something that is maybe not a great task to do nicer, like, to create a little ritual around it that is enjoyable. And I think this is powerful. So if there's a mom here who doesn't like certain things of the Christmas planning routine, that thing that you don't like, maybe find a way that you can make it more enjoyable and, add the mulled wine and the log burner and that kind of thing to it. I love that.
Absolutely. No, that's great. That's brilliant. Yeah, it's a shame. Shame you can't do so much online shopping.
No, yes, it
Yeah.
is.
But well, hopefully there's lots of pretty decorations that you can look at though as well.
Yeah, and on the other hand, I mean, there is not a huge amount of shops that would have the things that I want to buy. So it's not I've got to go to 20 shops. There's two free shops. I'll make my list of the presents that I want to get. We make our budget together with my husband to decide this is how much we're going to spend on each child. This is how much we're going to spend on each of us.
Mm.
And then I go and get it. And just like the presents, they are nice. And, I think it belongs to Christmas to receive a present,
Mm.
but they are not the main thing. So usually it's not so many presents that we organize. So it's probably going to be one day, two shopping centers, and I'm done. I mean, that's what I hope for.
Sounds good. And home in time for some mulled wine.
Exactly. Well, iced tea, or I don't know, because it's just so hot here.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, isn't it? Because you're from Germany, aren't you? So your Christmas culture's completely
Oh
changed.
yes, yes, exactly. We'll get into that in one of the
Yeah.
days where I'll share a little bit about that journey, which was definitely an interesting one. But now I enjoy the hot Christmas. But I will admit it's never going to give me the same spirit and feeling that I used to have in Germany, or even when I was living in the UK, when there's the cold weather and the dark and all of that. I do miss that. But I won't get that here. So we'll talk about it another day.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. I look forward to that. So yeah, so I think we've kind of, given a few tips and ideas about you know, planning at a steady pace. It doesn't all have to be done at once. Make it fun. Consider the budget, consider what's important to you, and yeah, enjoy planning this year.
Yeah. One thing that I would like to share as well as a last
Yeah.
tip that I feel that when we have a lot to do, we do a lot. So we do a lot of things at the same time. We
Mm.
plan, we budget, I don't know, call the auntie, call the mom to organize when, where, how, what. But instead of trying to do all the things at the same time, I think it's quite useful to go back a little bit and focus on one thing. Because, I mean, moms are amazing in multitasking. We truly are. But at the same time, multitasking is kind of a myth because our brain doesn't quite allow us to actually do that because we're switching. We're never focused on several tasks. We're switching. And that is exhausting for the brain. So if that's something you do, you're multitasking all the time, try to slow down and focus on one task at the time, and it gets done faster eventually. And it's just calmer for your brain as well.
Yeah, it actually helps you. It's the mindfulness piece as well coming in there, isn't it? It's the you actually enjoy what you're doing more because you're not like switch, switching between
Exactly.
things, and you're actually able to take in what you're doing more. You're more in the present rather than what needs to be done, what must be done.
Yeah.
So it's a good mindfulness exercise as well for you along the way in your planning. So, oh, thanks for sharing that little bit there, Anne.
Welcome.
Um, so I'm going to bring this video to a close. We hope that it's given you some fresh inspiration, that it's inspired you to do things a little bit differently this year. And we will be back with more videos throughout December. We've got 12 videos for you, plus lots of reflective exercises and some mindfulness, like self-love rituals and things. And these are all things that you can do on the go. They're not the idea is that you don't have extra work to do. You can listen to these videos as you're, I don't know, as you're making the dinner or coming home from the school run if you walk, or whatever suits you, whatever you can, however you can fit it into your life. And so thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.
And see you in the Facebook group too, because there's going to be lots of stuff going on in there.
This is where it happens.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.